about how I'm supposed to tie this together, John, I'll be honest with you. I said, what am I talking about? He said, what it means to you, what does the revival mean to you? So the one thing I can come up with is I believe when we talked the other night, you were saying that what's happening, you think, in the city is that the things that make it so special are kind of not getting as much attention as it needs. The arts, the humanities, is that right? Music. And that the revival is about trying to reinvest and shine light upon those things.
Yeah, not so much city as a whole, but Yankee Homecoming.
Yankee Homecoming.
Especially with what's been happening on Main Street in years past.
Okay, so the revival is about bringing that back in.
Okay, and using Yankee Homecoming as a platform in order to do that.
Okay. And the people here agree. I want to know where everybody's from. Who are these people? Are these concerned citizens? Are you artisans? Who are you?
So I guess I'm getting confused about is the in-street revival for the local artists and creators that, because there's I mean, Yankee Homecoming is all these tents with people from all over who bring their stuff, who are not commercial, but they are artisans. So is this more to focus on local?
I would love to expound on that a little bit in the end and maybe clarify a little bit what Yankee Homecoming has been and the reasons that would create the revival. But I'd really like to hear what. I do.
That I hear nicely. Okay, so Lucy's Love Bus. Has anybody heard of Love Bus? We are not travel with pole dancers. Get your money. You got a young man. I saw you thinking that. No, my daughter Lucy started Lucy's Love Bus when she was 11 years old. She was diagnosed with cancer in 2002. Passed away in 2006. She was sick for 4 years with the adult form of leukemia, which is called acute myeloid leukemia. She had a 50% chance of survival at diagnosis, a 50% chance of relapse, and if you relapse, you have a very low survival rate. So unfortunately, she did relapse after the first treatment. We did a huge amount of integrative therapies for Lucy. So because I lived in Amesbury and had started Amesbury Farmers Market in 1999, I knew everybody. So when my daughter got sick, the community came together, raised a ton of money for us. We worked for 4 years. But what we did with the money was try to find comfort and quality of life for her because the suffering was just profound. So toward the end of Lou's life, she was 11 years old. We moved her care from Children's Hospital Boston over to Floating Hospital in Chinatown. So Lucy's 11, and she's sick as a dog. She looks up at me and says, wait a minute, we're in Chinatown, right? I said, yeah. If you look out your window, there's Dunkin' Donuts in Chinese, right there. And she said, well, how come I can't get acupuncture here? Good question. So I took an 11-year-old to ask that, but that was the first time that she ever asked, where are these therapies coming from? Because we literally, we had, the town of Amesbury raised $40,000 for us in 4 years, and that is how we survived, and that is how we paid out of pocket for everything this child needed. So I said, sweetie, the reason you have all this stuff is because Amesbury has been so generous to you, and we're paying out of pocket for it. She said, oh, I thought it was covered by insurance. I said, no, all the acupuncture, all the massage, Reiki, the chiropractic care, the horse we got you, the dog we got you, the motorcycle you asked for and didn't get, all of that was covered by the town of Amesbury helping us. And she sat up and she said, well, that's not right. She said, well, when I'm done with this, I'm going to make sure all children can have it. So it was the first time she understood the whole finance part that insurance doesn't cover. So what we do is we deliver love, comfort, and quality of life to children with cancer throughout New England. We used to be national. We had to pull back when word got out about our organization. We had to pull back in 2014 because the need is so tremendous. And we are a 2-person organization operating out of the dining room. So we're now raising about $500,000 a year. We've helped 750 children all over the country. What we do is provide integrative therapy grants. So if, say, someone had cancer, you could call me and say, okay, 10-year-old Joey has a brain tumor, and you say, he's having trouble with walking, he's vomiting, he's got nausea, maybe. So we'll make recommendations, and then we will find the best practitioners in that child's area. So whenever I go to schools, they imagine that I'm driving this crazy old bus all over the country, bringing children to doctor's appointments, acupuncture appointments. That's not what it is. There's no brakes on that thing. I would never put a car in that. What we do is find the practitioner. We reach out to the child, empower the child by saying, what do you want? For the first time in your cancer experience, someone's asking you, what do you want? What will help you? And the child gets to pick from anything. We've done belly dancing. We've done anything you can imagine. If a kid thinks it's going to help them, we pay for it. We don't do wishes, we don't send kids to Disney, it's all about quality of life and comfort and healing from the suffering. So doing that for a long, long time, I totally just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What was I talking about?
You've done an excellent job already, so.
Right, whatever. Yeah, they don't write notes down.
You were asking who we were.
Who you were, but then I was like, yeah, forget it. So anyway, so we started this. When we started, we had no idea what we're doing. I'm going to tie this to the revival. I thought of one thing, is that like the arts in communities, you know how this happened in Soho, and it happened in Cambridge, and it happens in every city. There's a trashy, dumpy area, right? Every city. We looked at pictures of Newburyport from not too long ago. It's a little bit different, right? And then the artists come in and they make it really cool, right? It becomes really, really cool. And then who comes in? Wealthy people come in and buy up, and the property values go up, right? And then who gets shoved out? The artists. So that's what I'm thinking about when you're saying this revival. I'm thinking about that, like a community reinvesting and really committing to the arts. And the way I can tie that to Love Bus is when we started, we were this cute, tiny little thing, and we said, oh, that's so cute, you're doing this in honor of your daughter, oh, it's so cute. And that pissed me off, quite frankly, because I was not doing this to be cute. I wasn't doing it to heal. I wasn't doing it for my health. It is the hardest thing I've ever done, other than watching my daughter die. It's the hardest thing I've ever done is to come back from enormous grief and tragedy and try to turn it into something very positive and beautiful for other children and try to change outcomes and experiences for kids around the country. But what happens is, when you're small and cute, everyone names where you're like, oh, I want to help you, I want to help you, you're so small, it's cute. And then you get bigger, and then you have to go to Boston. I moved our office to Boston. I had to, because I have to raise a ton of money. Amesbury can't help me raise a ton of money. Then people start saying, oh, you used to be so small and cute, and now you're kind of corporate, and I don't like you anymore, so I can't help you anymore. It happens all the time, and it relates to me to this artist thing. You know, I know it happened at Cider Hill Farm. You guys know Cider Hill Farm? It used to be small and cute, right? Now, I've heard a lot of rumbling in the school systems. We used to take our kids there, but now it's so corporate. We don't like it anymore. I'm like, well, for God's sake, what do you want? People are so accustomed to bitching and moaning that they say, I want this farm. I want the land to be preserved. I want that, right? And I'll support it, but I don't want them to get big. But, you know, it's this irony of human nature that we want it, right? We want a cute little downtown, but we want to shop at Walmart, right? We don't. Hopefully we're living that. But so I'm going to tie it together with that, you know, because we've gotten bigger, because we were going back to national, because Lucy's Love Bus has been successful in terms of raising money and helping children, the locals start feeling like, oh, it's not mine anymore, so I don't want to help it. Because I only want to help kids in my backyard. And what I say to those people is, okay, God love you, but you know, you all want to help people in your backyard. We all do. I say, we've helped 750 kids. Not a single one ever turned to me and said, did this money come from my backyard? Because I don't want it if it didn't, right? The kids don't give a crap where the money comes from. They need comfort, they need quality of life, they need to not be suffering. So we try to work with our funders saying, you know, do you honestly care where a kid is suffering? If a child is suffering, do you care if they're in Arkansas? Do you care if they're in Newburyport? No. So, you know, that's one of the struggles we face that is similar to this arts and revival piece, trying to tie it together here a little bit. That, you know, I do think Newburyport does need to reinvest in the arts community. We do have, I think, a pretty thriving arts community, I'll consider. But certainly housing is not affordable here, right? And artists tend not to be millionaires. Don't know why, right? But that's the truth.
There's not even an artist studio.
There's none. But I would say, look at Lowell, the city of Lowell. I worked there for 5 years when I was working, building up Love Bus. I worked at a different nonprofit full-time in Boston. And the city of Lowell has really invested in artists. They've taken some of the old mill buildings, turned it into beautiful studio spaces. But then they went a step further, and they bought the dumpy old mill next to it and turned it into affordable housing for artists.
Wow, that is
So I just want to check that out. If this is a concern of yours, and talk to Lowell, and I know a lot of the leaders in the city of Lowell who can help
The
show
problem
them
is
off.
there's no buildings like that. They've all been bought up.
You said, hey, you mentioned the county house was falling down.
Well,
Take that one.
I like that.
Okay, anyway.
She got you. You got
Could
it.
I ask a question? Was creating art part of any of the things that the children wanted to do as
Oh
part
yeah,
of
we do
their
art therapy, we do art
Yeah.
therapy, music therapy, play therapy, art therapy. We literally do anything that, Lucy's definition was, you know, traditional integrative therapy is massage, acupuncture, Reiki, things like that, or aromatherapy. But she said anything that helps and doesn't hurt. So we do a ton of definitely music and art and pet therapy
to providing services that are outside of conventional.
Exactly, yeah. And the beautiful thing is when Lucy first started it, her vision, she loved floating hospital because we had some terrible problems because of psych issues at Children's. Lucy became suicidal for them for life. And they could not fathom how an 11-year-old kid fighting for her life would want to die. They had a hard time grasping that. So we had to go